About the pharmaceutical space because there are many developments there. Cipla is a stock in our radar. The medicines patent pool has announced a first round of sub-licensing for a hepatitis C drug, and a couple of these companies could be in focus. Dr. Jaideep Gogtay, the clinical head at Cipla, joins us on the show now to talk about that. Mr. Gogtay, thanks for joining us. Just explain to us the fact that you can now produce and sell this hepatitis C drug, and what are the current sales of this product and what could you generate?
So it's difficult for me to comment on the sales of the drug, but what I can say is that India has about 10 million hepatitis C infected people. This is one of the commonest problems in our country, and with the availability of new drugs like daclatasvir and earlier sofosbuvir, I think there's going to be a dramatic increase in the access of these patients to these drugs.
Okay, Dr. Gogtay, morning, thanks a lot for joining. But other companies have also been sub-licensed this drug. If you can give us an idea of what's the market size?
So as I said, the number of people infected with the virus in India is estimated to be about 10 to 12 million. Probably half of them are viremic, but more than 90% perhaps are undiagnosed. So I think the first thing is to get these drugs to the pool of patients who already exist. And with the new drugs that are available for most of the patients, there is a chance of a cure of more than 90%. I think the real challenge for us lies in the fact that we need to diagnose more patients so that these patients can get adequately treated in the next few years.
So how much will this contribute to your domestic sales? If you can just give us any ballpark numbers to work with.
So let me again say that it's difficult at this moment to talk about sales of this drug or how much it will contribute. But I think these drugs are really, from an access point of view, important for India. These are life-saving medications, and the focus of Cipla is really to look at access to these life-saving medications now that they are available, rather than looking at sales or how much it's going to contribute to our turnover.
No, I get that, but there are a lot of investors also who are watching. So one is only trying to get an idea of what is the available market. You said that there are 5 million patients, 10 million patients, and at least for half of them, access is not available. Access is available for 5 million. What is the cost for per individual or per patient?
So depending on the type of the virus, because you have 2 or 3 different genotypes of the virus, and depending on how much disease advancement has occurred in these patients, the cost of treatment can vary anywhere from about 75,000 rupees to maybe 1,50,000 rupees. And I think this is a far cry from what is currently available in Western countries, where the treatment's cost could be $100,000 per patient.
Okay.
Do these drugs get government support at all? Are they part of a lot of government-supported hospitals? Because these are expensive drugs.
So at this point, I think there are some governments, state governments and local hospitals, which are looking at acquiring these drugs so that they can give it to their patients. I think over a period of time, this should go into more and more states.
Okay. You were telling us about, apart from daclatasvir, sofosbuvir is also another hepatitis C drug. How are the sales doing for Cipla in that particular drug?
So again, I'd rather not comment so much on the sales of these drugs. But what I'd really like to say is, if you look at last year, the number of patients who took hepatitis C treatments was, let's say, in the range of 15 or 20,000. This has actually doubled or more than doubled this year. And that's because of this new drugs being available from Cipla and other companies. And the fact that because these drugs are a cure, more and more physicians and doctors are coming up to diagnose patients more.
And any more licensing opportunities you reckon in the offing?
So I think this kind of licensing agreements are opening up a new way as to how newly developed drugs, which are expensive, can be made affordable to countries like India. And I'm sure Cipla and many others would like to explore this on an ongoing basis for many other such diseases.
There is a possibility that Bristol Myers will license others as well?
So we don't know of that as yet. But I think it's a very, very good beginning that has been made in the area of hepatitis C. There are other difficult diseases and other killer diseases that we should tackle in the future. But I think it's showing us a new path, at least, as to how we could collaborate to get new drugs in India as quickly as possible.
All right, Dr. Gogtay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us with your perspective. So, expensive drugs, and therefore there will be a market, and then there'll be more of a market from probably government subsidy programs.